and welcome back. Thank you to everyone who has been watching our videos. It really is appreciated. Thank you to all our new subscribers. Thank you for giving us a go. I hope with time things will improve as far as doing these videos, but thank you for giving us a go in the beginning. It really is appreciated. But most of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to Tracy at Crochet by Tracy. You'll find her here on YouTube. I'll link her channel in here, although I feel that most of my new subscribers have come from Tracy's channel. So thank you, Tracy, for giving me a plug on your community. And I just hope everybody that has been watching is, just enjoying it, and hope you like what you see. Anyway, into this video. There's an old saying, the best laid plans, all my plans this week have just fell by the wayside. What was supposed to have been a market prep and a market yesterday, although these things did happen, it wasn't the best of weeks because we had to end up going to Launceston on Friday, which took into some of my crochet time. But what can you do? This is life. Life has to be lived, and we are living a life. Unfortunately, it does impact in my crochet time. Anyway, on with it. Here we go. I did do a little bit of market prep this week. When I insert the video for you to show you the market setup, I did take a little bit of footage of my new makes this week, which was literally nothing. I made a beanie which sold. I also made a couple of chickens and some baby octopus. That is it. Didn't get anything else made. My hubby did get something new made with the horseshoe art. He made a clock, and I must say that that clock came out superb. And anyway, you'll see that in the video as well. So what I'll do now is I'll just stop here. I'll insert all that video and I'll be right back. To get a love heart jelly cat made. Oh yeah. A couple more chickens. Okay, let's get into the market recap. Now, this market is a monthly market. We normally do okay at this market, except for yesterday. Yesterday was a fizzer. One, I think it's because it's been raining here in Tasmania. We had a couple of days of rain before the market, which just generally makes it cold and miserable down here. So we had that to contend with as well. The weather is cooling down, and this market starts at 8:30 in the morning. It goes from 8:30 to 1:30. Not an ideal time at this time of year because everybody is feeling the cold. So not many people come out that early in the morning, and as such, no one was around for quite a while. They are talking that the next market will be held later in the day, which I think will be a lot better. But also we are now contending with Saturday morning sports, and there was no sports being held in this town, which is Scottsdale. All the sports were in outlying areas. So that also took a lot of the families out as well. Just the same, we did sell a couple of things. We made our stall costs. For me, that is always the most important thing, is to cover my stall cost. I don't factor in fuel. I don't factor in my time or anything like that. One, because this isn't a business, and two, to get to a market, we have to travel an hour, half an hour to an hour, depending on where it is. So we have to go there anyway. As I said, this is probably the worst market we've had there. And when I say it was the worst, we made a grand total of, let me find it, $57. Yay! Not. So it is what it is. I keep saying that, but it's very disheartening at times that you put the effort in and you just don't sell anything. But here's a market recap. So my first sale was at 9/11 and it was a Little Belly Froggy. I don't have a photograph of it, but it is a paid pattern off Etsy, so I will link that below. That was sold to a lady that was there early, just wandering around, and she liked frogs. So it went. That's great. I just have to get in and make some more of those. The next sale was at 9:41. Now, this was the beanie that I had just made, and also 2 scrunchies. Now, the scrunchies were a musk colour, and well, it was musk with sparkles and a Rio red. Now, I don't have a picture of the Rio red, but I do have one of the musk sparkle, so I'll pop that in as well. Then we waited until 11:15. Yep, so that was a long time in between sales. And then it was a sale on one of my chickens. Now, this chicken was one of my brown and white ones in a fluffy yarn. I don't have that yarn anymore, so it was one of the last ones to go. And that was sold to a lovely new family that have just moved into the area that I live. They had wandered the whole of the market and were doing their shopping on their way back out. So I'm glad they returned to our stall and bought a chicken. And then my final sale was at 12:42, and it was my pink chicken that I specifically made for this market. The older sister come running in, hoping she wasn't too late and that the pink chicken was there. The pink chicken was there, so she got the pink chicken and a baby octopus. Now, the chicken goes to a little girl who, every time we've had a market at Scottsdale, she has bought one of my chickens, and they told me last time, even if it was in pink, I'd buy it. So I made one in pink. They bought it, so now I'm going to have to make another pink one, because for some reason pink chickens sell. Go figure. But I will try and make a different coloured pink of some sort. I do have a pink sitting up there somewhere, about there. Got it. It's a hot pink, so I'll probably make a chicken out of that hot pink up there. And that was it for sales. As I said, we covered our store costs and enough to buy a cup of coffee. It is starting to get a bit disheartening doing the markets when we're not selling anything. There's been no foot traffic, and that in itself makes it really hard. We do have another market next weekend, and this one is an hour's drive away. We went to this market when it first started, and we had an absolutely brilliant market at, when we went last time. So I thought, I'm getting desperate for markets, and we haven't been to this one for a while, so I applied and got in. So I thought, right, let's go. Hopefully we will make a little bit of money at that market as well. Apart from that, the only other market that I have booked in, well, I have 2 booked in for June. I'm going to start dropping back to only 2 markets. There's only 2 particular markets that I really want to do. Some go into hibernation over the winter months, so Well, obviously we can't be doing those, and I still want to be able to do markets. So the two that we're doing is one called Lilydale Market. Lilydale Market has always been good to us. They have a theme at the market every time they have it. This one is called Whimsical Winter. So I'm hoping some of the crochet and knitted goods I have will be able to sell at these markets as well. As I said, we've always done well at this market. Having said that, the way we're going, I'm feeling like we're not going to do well, but I've got to keep trying. And the other one that I'm going to do in June is going to be this Dorset market, which we just did yesterday. I'm not going to just stop doing this market because I had one bad day. As I said, the market generally has been really, really good to us. It was a shocker yesterday, but we are going to go back next month and give it another go. They are changing the times for the next market, so it's not so early in the day when people are just not coming around, and making it a little bit later, which I feel is much better timing for people to come out to the markets. Anyway, that's the wrap up of the market for the week and the few things that I have made. Now, when we got home yesterday, I did make a couple of things. I'll just go and grab them and I'll be right back. Okay, got the things that I made. Now, the first thing that I made is a little capybara. As you can see, it is only a little one. Now, this is a free pattern off Instagram. And of course, I don't have it in front of me, but I will link it below. Very, very simple. Start in the middle, crochet in a cylinder, change colours for the 4 bobble feet, change colours for the little ears, and yeah, just a tiny little one. Very happy with how that come out, just to give my stall a bit more variety. And the only other thing I made was 3 little red octopus. There's the third one. Now you're probably wondering why I keep making the octopus. I have no colours in the octopus left. I have 1 yellow, 1 blue, 2 green. I just don't have any colours, so I need to make some so that people have got a variety to choose from, because otherwise they're just not going to look at it. Now, the other thing that I do have to do, and this is from somebody who is starting out in the plushies area of a market, is that I don't have a large variety. I tend to be making the same thing over and over. Now, yes, they are selling, but I need to make new things to attract new people to the stall. So hence why I've made a capybara. I will try and make other things through the week. I'm not going to guarantee anything because my best laid plans never happen. And plus I do have to work next week, and I have the school cross country, and I think there's another thing on at school that I'm required to do as well. So I've got a couple of busy days coming up, and then on next Friday I have to go and help my husband again. So my time for crocheting is being limited at the moment, so hence why I'm trying to get some little easy things done. I'm not trying to make big things because big things just take me too long, because also I'm not a very quick crocheter either. I crochet probably a little bit tighter than most people. As I said, my counting is still off, but so I do a lot of frogging, but then I get there in the end. Look, to be honest, this is such an easy thing to make after looking at it, but would you believe I made a mistake from the last legs around this area? I know you probably don't make mistakes, but I still make mistakes. So for me, it is a little bit more time consuming than others. Also, just lacking that little bit of motivation, because what I do have is not selling. I'm starting to question whether my makes are good enough to sell. I do know they're good enough to sell, but when you're not selling anything, you go, oh, are they really that bad that people are not buying them, or is there not people walking around? Look, all sorts of things go through your mind. And then I look at other plushie makers at the market. Although there's not a lot, some seem to be doing really well. And I think, well, why aren't I doing as well as them? As I said, part of it, I believe, is because I don't have a variety of items for people to look at. So I need to get in and make that little bit more variety. So hopefully I can this week make a couple of more new things. This afternoon, this is Sunday, so this afternoon I really have to do a order that I have. So I'll be getting in and doing that. I will show everyone what I'm making after I've made it and I've shown the people that are buying it, because I believe they should see it first before I go publicising it everywhere what it is, because it is a present and I really want them to be happy with it before I go, hey, look at what I made. That's me. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's just me. Now, the other thing, thank you for all the suggestions on where to get some eyes from. I do have to put in an order and get some eyes because I am running out. I am so low in eyes that's going to be the next thing that's going to stop me from making anything, is that I won't have the eyes to put on these plushies. Oh, look, there's just so many things happening at the moment. But anyway, enough of the rant, rumble, the woe is me and all of that. That's not what this is meant to be about. This is just a true reflection of what it is like for somebody that is starting out in making plushies for markets. I should say, excuse me, I should say I've been doing markets for quite a while, but at the markets I've usually been selling a lot of other knitted and crocheted goods, which do sell. I have never had a problem with it, but that once again is a market where those people have to be wanting those things. I do still make the beanies. I do have another one on my needles at the moment. That is what I call my passenger princess project. Because I don't have to drive at the moment, I sit and knit in the car. I'm happy to do that, and that's how I can get some of my beanies made. So that's what I do in the car. It's something nice and easy to do. Other than that, I am just plugging away, getting things done. There's so many things I need to restock just in my knitted and crochet items, but at the moment they're not selling as much as the plushies. So hence why I'm trying to concentrate on the plushies and get a few more of them made. Anyway, that's about all I've got for this video. Thank you if you've gotten this far in watching it. It isn't a yay fantastic market video. It's another, oh my God, it was not a good market. The frustration is real. The down, for a use of a better word, is real. But in true fashion, I'll pick myself up. I will keep going. Hopefully the next market is a lot better than what the last two, although we did have a good market last Sunday, and last Saturday, although it wasn't great, it was still a good market. This wasn't the best market, but as I said, it's one that I do support, and it is one that has been very good to us previously. We just had a bad day. Anyway, enough of that. I hope everyone has a great week. As always, thank you to everyone who watches and gets through the videos. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if anybody's watching it and can share my YouTube channel, I do appreciate it. And I'm happy to give you a plug if you are promoting me anywhere. As I said, a lot of my subscribers, I'm sure, has come from other channels, but at the same time, I'm more than happy to repay the favour. Anyway, once again, thanks everybody. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.